Right, we're going to move on to a film now which I've seen. Hurrah! Even though I've been on holiday. And this is one which is currently streaming on Sky. So on Sky Cinema or Now TV in the UK. And it's a film called Simulant. And in Simulant, we've got, it's the near future, we've got a guy called Evan, played by Robbie Amell, and Faye, played by Jordana Brewster. And they're very happily married, but Evan is troubled by recurring dreams of a car accident that he was in with Faye and their android housekeeper. Evan gets to understand more about the capabilities of the new 7th generation simulants when he runs into a guy called Kessler Sam Worthington, who is a cop looking to control rogue simulants. Sound familiar? Here's a clip.
So what happened here?
The sim has been hacked. Somebody altered the precepts designed to protect us.
Who did this to you?
Trust me, been helping people like you for a long time.
How many people like me?
A lot. It's about to be a lot more.
Right, so Emma, you've seen this film. What did you make of it?
It's quite an enjoyable film for what it is. But it is very much like a lot of things. I mean, I was watching it and instantly my mind went to was it the Channel 4 series Humans?
Yes.
It very much reminded me of that, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it just didn't feel new. And I think they were trying to be really clever by, revealing the twist, but it's really obvious when you watch the film what is going to happen. I really enjoyed the ending because I thought in my head, I was like, this film would be really good if it ended like this, but they're never going to do that. And they did, so I really appreciated that.
Well, we don't do spoilers on this show, but I'm not sure which twist you're talking about as being obvious and which one is the one which not. So we can't really talk about that because there are a few interesting little twists in this.
Yes, yeah.
Which some of which are spoiled, I have to say, by the trailer. So if you want to watch this film, do not watch the trailer first, because the trailer really does give away some spoilers of it.
I watched it afterwards, the trailer. So.
Yes, that's good. So I quite liked some of the twists that got thrown in, even though I did see the finale coming early in the film, I have to say. But I think I'm very much like you, that this is very, very much like a lot of films, particularly Blade Runner. I mean, I think I'm right in saying that the androids are called simulants in Blade Runner. I think that's where simulant came from.
They're called replicants, Bob.
Oh, replicants. Yes, replicants.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. Okay, so I'm incorrect in that. But it did rip off Blade Runner terribly, including an opening action scene, which is very, very similar to the one where Harrison Ford is pursuing somebody through the street. Also Ex Machina, I thought it ripped off to a degree as well. And that was a big problem for me with this film, that, like you say, it's watchable, but it always felt like somebody had repainted the Mona Lisa and not quite got the smile right. That there wasn't enough budget thrown at it in order to make it really something special. It always seemed to be trying to catch up to those classic films it was trying to emulate. It doesn't help that those two films I mentioned are kind of very high on my list of top 20 films of all time as well. Yeah, but I thought there were some nice ideas. What did you make of the effects?
There's a question. I didn't notice them, which generally I would say means they were just fine.
Yeah.
Like nothing stuck out to me as being either really bad or amazing.
Right.
So, yeah.
And I think that comes down to the budget again. But I thought they used their special effects budget fairly well in terms of what they did. I very much like the fact that clearly something that the Blade Runner people didn't cotton on to, that if you're trying to catch a replicant, then you can fire an EM pulse and all of the humans in an area are fine and all of the replicants suddenly go into freeze mode. And
would have been a very short film.
Yeah, and that was quite nice that they did that and so on. And I thought it was nice it was directed by a woman, April Mullen, because you don't get many sci-fi films directed by a woman, and I thought it was a nice pace in terms of the way the film clicked along. In terms of negatives for me, it was a little bit predictable in terms of where it was going to go. It also seemed low on budget. Like, there's this guy Kessler on his own. I mean, given what's happening in the film as to the potential danger and so on as what's going on in the film, which is very topical, I have to say. You can't get a better topical film at the moment with all this discussion about control of AI and so on than this film. But given all that this stuff is going in, why is this one cop on his own? He doesn't even have a partner, right? Seems to have all of the responsibility for fixing the world's problems. It's completely bonkers. And I also found the lead, Robbie Amell. I don't know where he's come from, actually. I think he's been in a few TV series in Canada, but I didn't think he had the charisma, I'm afraid, to carry the lead role. Sorry, Mr. Amell, if you're watching this, that must be horrible. But I just didn't think he had that material to play in that sort of league. But there you go. I gave this one a 6 out of 10 because I thought it was watchable, but if I wanted to watch it again, I'd either watch Blade Runner or Ex Machina. Emma?
Yep, same for me, 6.
6, okay, 6 and a 6. That gives it a Flickering Dreams score of 6.0, nice and easy, and unfortunately that makes it a marginal on our books. Okay.